No one appeared on the walls. The very portals, though locked and barred, seemed unguarded, while the survivors of ages with ivy-crowned tower and weed-tangled buttress stand as rocks in an uninhabited waste. They said that if you didn't tell the bees of a wedding, a birth, or a death, they would take offense and leave. I am a native of a sea-surrounded nook, a cloud-enshadowed land. Its place name derives from the anglicization of the native, meaning honey meadow. I have assimilated that this is due to the richness of soil into which I am stationed. When the bees regurgitate the nectar from their mouths and ejaculate the wax from their bellies, they produce an unctuous amber liquid, which is said to have an eternal shelf life. It is said that in certain conditions, it will last forever. I have seen it used to cover a wound. Its thickness allows nothing to colonize it, drawing out moisture and acting as a barrier to all contaminants. A wound with blood and pus, or the sickly acrid smell of sweat, of decay, does not signify death. No, as in true theatre without makeup or masks, refuse and corpses show me what I permanently thrust aside in order to live. Old Stuart, he surely told the bees everything. When his mother died, he put on his best suit, washed and shaved himself. This is all gospel. He washed and shaved, and in his best polished Sunday boot, the same as if he were going to Mass, he went and told them that their mistress was dead, and not one of them left. What a thing to consider, that something inhuman might have a voice, could carry a memory, or house a soul. It was likened to outdated practices such as bloodletting. The task was to stop the hemorrhage and flow of all that was considered to be foreign and uncivilized in this place. To talk to the bees is an aberration, a stain. This past in the present, we will not breathe a word of it, for to breathe it is to keep it alive. These facets were constructed to delineate, to protect, to sequester, to defend, to sensate. What era it was founded, and by whom? What sieges it had sustained? What blood had been spilt upon its walls? Things react to each other. Certain ratios combined cause a thing to bloom and blister. The spectre had ripped languidly through the chambers of the heart of the thing, and in its wake had pierced layers from those boundaries into jagged spearheads. They raise their heads in protest, but they are petrified. The scientific law of entropy states that systems will tend toward a position of disorder. And then it was as if the tiles, the floor coverings, the fixtures that once clad those boundaries had loosened like old teeth, were shifting and crawling of their own accord, gradually sliding on their roots non-vital, pivoting towards some other place. Something creeps, fluid stretches out, slow, something drips and travels thick in its viscosity, its trail a memorial in formation, a visible measure of time and of how far we have come, and all of that which seeps is what really connects us. It was as if we were weeping. It was as if we were infected from within. Even our soldiers were awed to silence. The music paused. Their clang of arms was hushed. Each man asked his fellow in whispers the meaning of this sudden peace. No form could be discerned on the terraces of the houses. In the higher parts of the town, no moving shadow bespoke the presence of any living being. The very trees waved not, and mocked the stability of architecture with like immovability. There was a clever man there, long ago. There was one thing that went beyond him all his life, and that was, how did the bees make the honey? He tried every plan and couldn't find out. So, to look, he made a glass hive and put the bees into it. But when he came to the hive the next day to watch them making it, 'tis how they had plastered all over with wax inside, and he couldn't see a bit. He was so vexed that he hit it a kick and broke it, and all the bees flew out and stung him and blinded him.